Today we are working on Unit 5, Lesson 7 homework. And what's different today is we are going to be working with decimals in our divisor. And I'm going to go over a quick review of our vocabulary again. In a division problem, the dividend is the number that's being broken up into equal pieces. The divisor is the number that tells you how many pieces you are breaking the dividend up into. And the quotient is your answer. Today, what we're talking about is the divisor. And what we're talking about here is having a decimal in the divisor. And let's go ahead and look at, we're actually going to start at the bottom today. Let's go ahead and look at number 6. When we have it as a divisor with a decimal in it, for example, number 6, we have 0.9 or 9/10 as our divisor. And then we are dividing 63 by 9/10. You cannot leave the decimal in your divisor. And so what you need to do is take your decimal and shift it one place to the right. Now, anything you do to the divisor, you have to do to the dividend. And so we have to take the decimal that's already in 63, it's a whole number, so it's followed by a decimal, and we have to shift that one place to the right. Okay, anytime that we shift a decimal in the divisor, we have to shift it in the dividend. And so that we fill in the empty space with a 0, that 63 becomes 630. And the first thing you do every time is put your decimal on the line after you've shifted. Now what you have is 9. This decimal goes away, and now what you have is 9, and you are dividing that into 630. So 9 cannot go into 6, that, because it's too big, and so that's 0. 9 can go into 63, and I know that 9 times 7 is equal to 63, so I can go ahead and subtract. 3 minus 3 is equal to 0, 6 minus 6 is equal to 6. Now I still have a 0 here, so I have to bring that 0 down. 9 can go into 0 0 times, and so your answer is going to be 70. We're going to practice that together again. Let's go ahead and look at number 7, and what we have is 800ths, or 0.08. And we are dividing that into 72. Now, I know that I have a decimal in my divisor, and I can't have a decimal in my divisor, so I'm going to shift that decimal all the way over to the end. So it's going to be 1 place, 2 place, and now I have 8 for my divisor instead of 800ths. Well, if I shift 2 places in my divisor, I have to go over to my dividend and shift 2 places, 1, 2, and then put in my decimal. Remember, you fill in those blank spots with zeros. We shifted 2 places, so we added 2 zeros. First thing I do every time is put my decimal on the line. So go ahead and get that decimal up there on the line right away. Now you can complete your division. 8 cannot go into 7 because it is larger. 8 can go into 72. 8 times 9 is equal to 72. And so I can go ahead and subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0, 7 minus 7 is 0. Now, I still have blank spaces here above those zeros, and those are going to fill in with zeros, but I'm going to go ahead and do this all the way through. I'm going to bring down my 0. 8 can go into 0, 0 times. Now I'm going to bring down my other 0. 8 can go into 0, 0 times. So your answer here is going to be 900. We're going to go ahead and continue this practice, and we'll move to number 8 together. And what we have for number 8 is we have a divisor of 7 thousandths. So it's 0.007. And we have a dividend of 42. And what we have to do then is shift and get rid of the decimal in our divisor. So we have to shift it 1, 2, 3 places. And now the divisor is 7. Well, if I shifted there, I have to do the same thing in my dividend. 1, 2, 3, and then I have my decimal. Remember, you fill in any of those blank spots with zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. The first thing I do every time is put my decimal on the line. Now what I have is 7 can go into 4. Nope, it can't because it's larger. 7 can go into 42. Yes, 7 can go into 42 6 times. Okay, 7 times 6 is equal to 42. And 42 minus 42 is 0. Now you can fill in the rest of the blank spaces here, these 3 spaces with zeros, or you can practice by bringing them each down. And you can go ahead and bring down your 0. 7 can go into 0, 0 times. Bring down your next 0. 7 can go into 0, 0 times. Bring down your final 0. 7 can go into 0, 0 times. So your answer is 6,000. And you can practice through 9 through 13 on your own. Let's go ahead and work our way back up to number 1, and we can practice some story problems together. Number 1, Nella and Lydia are hiking 15 miles today. After every half mile or 0.5 mile, they will stop and rest. How many times will they rest during the hike? So we have to take those 15 miles that they're hiking, and we have to divide those 15 miles up into half-mile increments, so 0.5. So 15 divided by 0.5. So I'm going to need to look at my divisor, and there's a decimal in it, so I'm going to need to shift it one place. Now my divisor is a 5. Anything I do to the divisor, I also have to do to the dividend. So I'm going to shift over one place and fill that blank spot in with a 0. Now, first thing I do every time is put my decimal on the line. Now I can begin my division. 5 cannot go into 1. 5 can go into 15 3 times because 5 times 15 is equal to, or 5 times 3 is equal to 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. Go ahead and bring down my 0. 5 can go into 0, 0 times. So my answer here is going to be 30 times. They're going to rest 30 times. Number 2. A cookie cutter shark is 0.4 meters long, and a thrasher shark is 6 meters long. How many times as long as the cookie cutter shark is the thrasher shark? So we are going to have to take our 6-meter thrasher shark and figure out how many times as long it is. And so we're going to divide that 6 by the 0.4, the length of the cookie cutter shark. Now we can't divide with a decimal in our divisor, so we have to shift that one place to the right. And now our divisor is 4. Anything we do to the divisor, we have to do to the dividends. So let's shift that over. And now our dividend is 60. First thing I do every time is put that decimal up on the line. Now I can go ahead and complete my division. 4 can go into 6 one time, and 4 times 1 is equal to 4. So I can go ahead and subtract 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. Bring down your 0. 4 can go into 20 5 times, and 4 times 5 is equal to 20. And you're left with no remainder. So your answer is going to be 15 times as long. So that thrasher shark or thresher shark is 15 times as long as the cookie cutter shark. You can go ahead and complete numbers 3, 4, and 5 on your own, as well as finishing the division problems at the bottom. When you've completed your work, please take a picture, attach it to the assignment, upload, and turn it in on Teams.